Welcome everybody back to Spin Rack. Today we're doing it. We're doing a non-spoiler review of the Avengers Endgame. We've all seen it. We've all have different thoughts on it, and we're going to tell you what you should watch out for those of you who were planning to go see it. So here, Petey, what do you think about let's go from the very beginning. The first act of the movie. What do you think about the opening set of the movie?
What do you think about the movie? Just tell me what you thought about the movie.
Overall, well, I'm the host. I can't tell you about that.
Yes, you can.
I can't tell you that till after I have you guys go first.
No, you can say.
If I go first, I'm spoiling the hell out of this movie. So somebody else needs to go first.
So my thoughts on this movie is, it is long. That's the number one thing I thought about it. Some people said that they didn't feel the length, but I felt the length. But you know what? The length is extremely important because there's so many stories they have to tell. There's so many things that they have to wrap up, and they do a great job in doing that. And so, of course, we have issues with certain things here and there. But overall, you know, there were some surprises that were not expected, and there were characters that you feel that were pretty good. On the other hand, there are some resolutions that you thought that were not totally complete, and some that you're like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. But we'll talk about that in a more spoiler review. What do you think about it, Petey?
Okay, so this movie, I think this and Infinity War, so Infinity War and Endgame sort of played out like the way, not played out, but it played out the same way that Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2 played out, where the first one was the ton of action, and then the second one, for me, this Kill Bill 2 had all the lame stuff.
But it was a lot of blood and action in the second
one. It had some, but it was more like quieter. And this one, I liked the fact in Endgame that most of the open was very much the quiet moments and this is something the Russos hadn't really done that much in their films, where they always had a lot of action. They did have moments in between the characters, but having the human characters show up, like starting with Hawkeye, but then as you go on, seeing what happened to the world post-Infinity War. So I thought giving that some time and fleshing out the actual world that they live in the world, the same way Josh Whedon did in his movies with Hawkeye and with the Avengers fighting and showing stuff on television. I think that was what I really liked in this movie. I think as you get towards the fighting, obviously you're going to have, there's there's a big chase, a conquest thing. There's a lot of things going on here. So we got back to the action maybe soon after, maybe 30 to 40 minutes in. And then it's like a lot of action, a lot of moments, a lot of nostalgia also. So you got a lot of things in this movie, a lot of things you can pick up. And, we get to see a lot more of Hawkeye. I'm not sure if they should have brought that aspect to his character, but that's how he dealt with what happened. So
well, I totally disagree with you on that Hawkeye thing. So we will
okay,
have to,
we will. But I'm saying that I think that at the same time there was a lot of things that I have issue with, which is more the crowd pleasing stuff, which is easy to do. But they gave us some surprises, and it sort of closes the Marvel Phase 3, if you want to say that. So that's what this is.
That's exactly what it is. I mean,
you want to say,
Homecoming.
For Marvel Phase 3 is closed, and put a button on it. So.
Yeah. But if you read the comics, you may be coming into some things that you may or may not have thought was possible, especially with the reaction that people had in comics for some of these things. So that's some of the things you got to be aware of, So if you've read the comics, I'm just telling you some of the changes that they're instituting or planning to institute may be what they did there, but they've kind of reversed it again in the comics. So that's all I got to say for that, at least. Don't get too strictly into the spoiler on that end.
Well, no. The only thing to say is that
George you disagree
Perez,
with me?
No, I'm saying George Perez said about the Infinity Gauntlet that the comic book itself possibly only should have been like maybe a 2-issue thing, the same way the Thanos' quest was, like 2 big issues.
Did he do that for Crisis? No, it was a lot longer. What are you talking about?
Crisis, come on. He at the end of saying Crisis, that's something different. When he said ultimately the end of Crisis, we didn't finish, the goal of it wasn't solved because we started bringing back Captain Carrot, alternate universe, Flash. Flash was still there. They did the legacy. Flash was like, well, he didn't really die because not a lot of people don't really, some things were kind of lost. So that's thing. I think the way they did a different story, slightly different, even though using elements that have been in the Avengers for years. So that was interesting to see how the audience played to having a comic book story play out, having this conquest, or not really a conquest, but this chase sort of happening within the story. So it was interesting to see how the audience had to deal with seeing this sort of comic book story of this adventure.
I gotta say, in this comic book story, whereas there was an emotional reaction especially at the end of Infinity War. In this particular show, it was pretty quiet generally throughout. I mean, there was only two or three things that people jump. That's about it. I was
Watch
really
it.
surprised.
So you didn't go to your normal movie theater, hey? The one where everybody loves everything?
Actually,
You went to a real one
I
this
actually
time.
went to the regular movie theater I normally go to,
Oh.
and I was really surprised. I don't know, probably it was just so early that people were like,
No.
I
I
was
saw
groggy.
I saw the early showing, okay? When I saw the early showing, people were still alive and animated. I don't know where you went.
my showing was, they were
This-
pretty
this-
quiet.
Full
No,
of
you're saying
fraudulent
all
movie
of,
theater.
all of the jokes that are in the movie,
I mean,
they weren't
laugh,
laughing
but
at those?
it's not like how you hear everybody laughing.
I
When I
heard
hear
everyone
when everybody's
laughing
clapping for
See, I
particular
can't really
events that
get
came
into
out,
it
but-
because we can't talk about the movie. We got to talk around the movie,
Yes.
which is ridiculous
It is
and
not.
malarkey at the end of
It
the
is
day.
not.
Who in the right mind wants a spoiler-free review of a movie? What's wrong with you at the end
we
of the
talking
day?
about your
I want a review,
spoiler-free?
but don't tell me about the movie.
Can
Go,
we
get
get
out
to
of
the
here.
review?
we will do the.
You already did
review.
the. You already did
What
the
about
review.
your
What more
thoughts?
can we
Did
say?
you like the movie or not?
Yeah, I loved
What
it.
did
Now
it
let's talk
play
about.
to?
Let's actually talk about the movie.
No, that's not.
Give us a couple more minutes and then.
If you don't, if that's the way you want to play, you want to say I can't say
Hey,
anything without
I
spoiling.
have sat here quietly and patiently. Nobody can say I didn't. Okay, I'm just voicing that. Look, it's the same thing like I said to the other guy. Okay, yeah, give me a name of a hot chick.
We're not doing that.
Give me
argument.
the hot
We're not
chick.
doing
We
it.
are focusing
We're not
on
doing
this.
it.
Okay, I'll do
We're
it
not
for you.
doing an analogy.
Okay, let's say you got Emily Ratajkowski, right? Okay, she's hot. All right, but you think
Wachowski is a guy who became a girl. What are you talking about?
no. You're thinking about
Wachowski
somebody.
brothers?
No, Ratajkowski. She was in the Blurred Lines video with
all right,
Robin
thank
Robin
you.
Thicke.
That was- thank
But
you.
you
That
would
was-
know the gay
that was a
one.
good
Yeah,
one. That
nice
was a
try.
good one.
Nice try. Anyway, nice try. Okay, so you come
I was
over.
like, wait,